New years bring new insights, and we've taken the opportunity to look back on 2025's real estate market in Des Plaines and actually try to compare it to 2024 and see what we can find out.
So we pulled the numbers from 2024, we pulled the numbers from 2025, crunched them all together, and it came up with some very interesting insights in how each year compared. Relatively speaking, everyone thought it was the same, but when you dig down into the numbers, that's not quite true.
We leveraged some technology this year. We decided to dive a little bit deeper into our knowledge of AI. We took all of those numbers from our local MLS for the properties that have closed in Des Plaines in 2024 and in 2025, loaded them into a AI platform and asked it to make a video in hopes that it might be able to explain it a little bit better than we might.
We hope you enjoy it.
All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the Des Plaines housing market. We're not just looking at 2025, we're putting it side by side with 2024 to see what really changed, what it all means, and, most importantly, where the hidden opportunities are for both buyers and sellers. So, what's the real story here? Was it a total seller's paradise? A buyer's worst nightmare? Well, it's never quite that simple, is it? We're going to cut through all the noise and let the actual numbers, pulled straight from our local MLS, tell the true story of how this market has really shifted. Okay, let's dive into this. To really get what's going on, we have to start with the big picture, the total market activity. This is the foundation for everything else we're about to uncover. And right away, here's our first surprise. In 2025, a total of 380 single-family homes were sold in Des Plaines. Now that's actually down from 410 the year before. So you hear that and you might think, oh, the market's cooling off. But that's not the whole story, not even close. Think about it like this. Even with that slight dip, it still means that in 2025, just over one home sold every single day of the year. So while the total number was a bit lower, the market was still constantly moving, day in and day out. And this is where the plot really thickens. Even though fewer homes sold overall, the success rate for sellers actually went up. A full 85% of homes that went on the market in 2025 sold. That's up from 82% the year before. So the market actually got more efficient. And that other 15% that didn't sell, that's where all the tension and opportunity lies. You see, that rising success rate tells us that the market was tilting more and more in the seller's favor. And that advantage really shows up in the two things every seller cares about most: how fast they can sell and for how much. Oh, you've got to see this number. In 2025, the average time it took for a home to sell was just 27 days. I mean, that is lightning fast. And it's a huge drop from 35 days in 2024. Homes were literally flying off the market more than a full week faster. And just so we're all on the same page, average market time is the clock that starts ticking the day a house is listed and stops the moment a contract is signed. For a seller, going from 35 down to 27 days, well, that's a massive weight off your shoulders. And here's the other piece of the puzzle for sellers: the price. In 2025, sellers got, on average, 99.8% of their final asking price. That is unbelievably close to getting every single penny they asked for, and it's even up from an already strong 98.9% in 2024. There's no doubt about it. Buyer competition was fierce. So look, if you're thinking about selling, the trend is absolutely your friend. The data couldn't be clearer. The market got faster and more profitable in 2025, and it really rewarded the sellers who priced their homes correctly right out of the gate. Okay, so that's the story from the seller's side of the fence. But what if you're a buyer? You're hearing all this: faster sales, higher prices, and you might be thinking it's a hopeless situation. Well, hang on, because it's not. There's a really important opportunity hidden in these numbers. And this is that hidden opportunity. Even as the market got tougher and faster, a full 20% of the homes that successfully sold in 2025 still had to lower their price. That is such a crucial piece of information for any buyer who's feeling a little discouraged right now. Let's just reframe that, because it's so important. 1 out of every 5 successful sellers, 1 in 5, had to adjust their expectations to get a deal done. This is absolute proof that not every single house is sparking a crazy bidding war over the weekend. For buyers, this means there is still room to negotiate. So the bottom line for buyers is this. Yes, the market sped up, but it didn't leave you in the dust. The data confirms that patience and having a smart strategy are more important than ever. It's all about being ready to spot those 1 in 5 opportunities when they pop up. But, knowing these numbers is one thing. Actually using them to your advantage is something else entirely. That's where real, on-the-ground local expertise becomes so critical, which is why we worked with the team who actually compiled and analyzed all this data to really understand the story behind the stats. I love this quote from Joe and Jean Marella, the local experts who gave us this analysis. It just sums it all up, right? The people who win in this kind of market, buyer or seller, are the ones who can look at these shifts from 2024 to 2025 and see not just a bunch of numbers, but a clear path forward. And that kind of strategic thinking, it doesn't come from a spreadsheet. It comes from deep local experience. Joe and Jean Marella of the Spouses Selling Houses team, who put all this together, they've been living and working in the Des Plaines community for over 30 years. They raised their family here. This isn't just a market to them, it's home. And that's the kind of knowledge you need to turn data into a real advantage. So let's bring it all home. Let's wrap this all up. We've seen how the market has evolved. It's gotten faster, it's gotten more competitive, but there are still very clear opportunities on both sides of the transaction. For sellers, the message is loud and clear. Demand is strong. And if your home is prepared and priced right, you're in a great position to sell quickly and for top dollar. And for buyers, the name of the game is strategy and patience. That 1 in 5 statistic, that's your playbook. It confirms there are still deals to be found out there. And that really brings us to the final question you should be asking yourself. The Des Plaines market is dynamic. It's got clear advantages for sellers and, at the same time, very real openings for smart buyers. So whether you're thinking of making a move or just want to know what your home is worth, the question is, what's your strategy going to be? Thanks for digging into the market with us.
So there you have it, a video about how Des Plaines' 2025 real estate market compared to 2024.
We hope you enjoyed it, and depending on your situation, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or maybe both, we'd be happy to sit down with you and discuss with a free, no obligation consultation on how we can use these numbers to benefit you in your buy or your sell.
Exactly. Those numbers were directly from our local multiple listing service and put right into AI, and hopefully it was easier for you to follow. Again, like Joe said, if you wanted to discuss how the market might be able to benefit you in your intent to make a move, feel free to give us a call. We are Joe and Jean Marella with the Spouses Selling Houses team, proud residents of Des Plaines for over 35 years, and are here to be your resource to help you make your next move.
Thanks.